Grand Archive is fixing their biggest problem, and today I want to talk about it. How's it going, Rogues Gallery, and welcome to another Grand Archive video here on Red Zone Rogue. And you heard that right. Today we're talking about how Grand Archive is fixing their biggest problem, or problems, at least to me. And for you to get the full context of this, I kind of want to give you a little bit of my history with the Grand Archive trading card game. I have been playing it since before their Kickstarter actually finished, starting my first couple games with their early print and play decks that didn't even have any artwork, playing games with the developers here on the channel. And since then I have become pretty involved with Grand Archive. I have my own collab card in their very first set, Dawn of Ashes, and just discussing the game and their overall like philosophy with the devs just really sold me on it, and I've just been a big supporter of the game ever since. However, in the recent years, I want to say maybe in the last year and a half, Grand Archive has kind of been waning for me a little bit. It's the reason why you haven't seen a ton of Grand Archive content on Red Zone Rogue. There was just something missing. There was just something that I wanted from the game that I just wasn't getting. And after thinking about it a lot, it really boiled down to the competitive nature of Grand Archive, and everything just kind of like cascaded from there. The game is extremely competitive in its 1v1 format, and that leads to cards and decks being very expensive. It leads to players being very well optimized in their play. If you bring like a cool weird rogue deck, you're probably gonna get absolutely destroyed. And it made this environment where all of the things that I really enjoyed the most about Grand Archive, experiencing the wide breadth of characters, all of the cool elements and advanced elements, just kind of got turned into, hey, play the meta decks. Now that's not true for all of Grand Archive's competitive history, but it did have this permeating sense throughout a lot of it. And on top of that, you had some of the other biggest voices and content creators in Grand Archive being the hyper competitive teams. Literally some of the best teams in the entire game are the other big content creators for Grand Archive. I want a big shout out to Main Deck Taylor for winning the Grand Archive World Championship 2025. But it put me into a situation where I was like conflicted on what I wanted to do with Grand Archive and where I wanted to go with my content, right? Because if I made some cool jank deck like my Dark Alice Rihanna combo deck, like, is anyone gonna even care? Is anyone gonna even watch that when they can go watch videos from like Ascent winners and the world champion? It's a weird spot to be in as a content creator who just genuinely loves card games. TCGs are my favorite thing in the world, and I was in a kind of a conundrum. And then Grand Archive announced Pantheon. Pantheon is Grand Archive's brand new singleton multiplayer format, but it is so much more than that. Pantheon has actually single-handedly reinvigorated my love and passion for Grand Archive, and it's the whole reason why I wanted to make this video. I kind of wanted just to note, why I haven't been doing as much Grand Archive content and why you will see a lot more Grand Archive content from me in the future. And it's almost solely due to Pantheon and some other kind of cool stuff that they're doing with the game to make level 3 and advanced elements a lot more viable. That might be a whole other video that maybe we'll talk about that. But man, Pantheon is so good. It is so much more than just kind of like Grand Archive's Commander. There's so much more depth and layers and interesting things baked into the format that just really resonate with me as someone who loves to, build decks and to play with cool characters and cool elements and to bring in these weird janky cards. The fact that it is a singleton format just by that very nature breeds ingenuity and breeds creativity. Since Grand Archive doesn't have like a dedicated resource card, you have a 60 card deck, but it's like 60 cards of absolute gas. On top of that, you have the boon system, which fundamentally alter how you build decks and how you play. There are boons that give you access to more elements, boons that give you access to more classes, boons that give you persistent effects that just alter how you play or power up your strategies. There's a lot to be had here and a lot to be enjoyed if you just love Grand Archive and love building decks. There's just so many options and cool things to be had in the format. And for me, as I sat down and kind of like went through my Radiant Origins packs and looked at all the options, I just like, I opened up cards. You can literally see it in this video. I open up, you know, an ultimate and I'm like, oh, I really want to make a deck, you know, for this champion because I got their ultimate. And that just kind of like goes into the crux of things. Pantheon makes it so you can build whatever champion you want to, you can get to whatever advanced element you want to, and just have fun with the game, right? I feel like this is something that a lot of people really, really wanted from Grand Archive for a very, very long time, to be able to get to your advanced element, to play Tenoris and get to your Neos element and play all your big robots, or to, you know, play Dao Chan and actually get to her advanced element, use her cool Terra cards and not just stop at, you know, level 1 or whatever. Now, don't get me wrong, I love the competitive side of Grand Archive and I love being involved in the competitive side of Grand Archive, especially from a shoutcasting perspective. But I'll be honest, like my days of like being that competitive tournament grinder are like way over. I used to play competitive Magic. I have pro points, if anyone remembers what that is. But as I get older, I'm more interested in having experiences rather than winning, you know, the tournament, right? I'd rather be the person, you know, shoutcasting and bringing the excitement to everyone, and then someone else can have the glory of winning the tournament. And then in my own time, like I said, I'm more about, you know, sharing experiences and just having a good time, and that's really, really what Pantheon is, you know, bringing to the table with Grand Archive. And because of that, I've just more inspired than ever. I literally sat down, after I opened up my Radiant Origins stuff, I already said that I was like, oh, I want to build decks. That night, I literally did. I went and I built a Sylvie Slime deck, and I built a Rye, it's a water arcane Rye that I'm just calling the Storm Ruler. That, well, I'm going to hold the video on that one. It's really cool. I love that deck. After playing it a few times, I think it might be my favorite deck in Pantheon. I'm sorry, Tristan. Rye is just so sweet and so fun. And then on top of that, I want to build more things. You know, the Tony robot deck that I mentioned. Yeah, dude, I'm a huge mecha fan. I'm gonna build a big Tony robot deck. I'm gonna build an Arasana deck. It's just so much. It's just so good. And then I didn't even touch upon like the expensive nature of it and how I think it's mitigated quite a bit being singleton. You know, having Pantheon be a singleton format, because instead of needing 4 copies of your Ghosts of Pendragon or, you know, insert expensive card here, you just need 1 copy. And it also makes those 1 special copies that you have, maybe you got like a foil promo or whatever, just that much more relevant and cool to show off in your deck. There's so many great things to be had about this format. I genuinely hope more people try it out and adopt it. It is currently my favorite way to play Grand Archive. It's my favorite way to interface with Grand Archive. Now, that's not to say that all future content will be Pantheon only. No. But it's just my personal favorite way to play the game. Though, I do really want to try Limited. Limited is like one of my favorite ways to play any trading card game. But yeah, this is just a video of me gushing about Pantheon and about how it basically turned this kind of like gradual, I don't want to call it a downhill slope for me for Grand Archive, but it just literally reinvigorated my interest for the game. It was starting to become stale for me, right? I have my competitive Tristan deck, but I don't really have the funds to build multiple other competitive decks for Grand Archive. The game is expensive, right? And I do have some crossover between things here or there, but if you don't open up like your Looking Glass or whatever, then you're not going to build that deck unless you're willing to shell out like hundreds of dollars. And, you know, I wanted to build a lot of different decks, and so I wasn't willing to shell out hundreds and hundreds of dollars, you know, especially since I already have a couple competitive decks. So Pantheon just opens that up, right? You can build your jank, you can bring your jank to the table, because it is a multiplayer environment, right? And things just kind of like auto balance. If someone is like bringing the heat, then all the other 3 players can just kind of like dogpile on them, and it's just kind of like this self-balancing thing. You know, you may have played multiplayer games before, or you can just bring your really sweet deck and try to be the arch enemy. So I don't know, like I'm just glad that Grand Archive did this, and they're doing it in a way that actually is supporting the format. So we have all these brand new cards for Pantheon that are only usable in Pantheon, so it doesn't like power creep the main 1v1 format. And they're also going to be adding like tons of side events and special foil cards and everything for Pantheon going forward. And I just hope they support this format a lot and they keep making products for it. Not a ton. I don't want what Magic is doing. No. But maybe what Magic used to do. You know how Magic used to have their like one commander set a year, maybe like, you know, they'd release those 4 commander decks every year. And for me, I would buy them even when I wasn't into Magic. I would still buy the yearly commander precons because they were cool. And, you know, maybe some of my friends want to play Magic and I just have all the decks already. I hope Grand Archive does something similar, like a yearly Pantheon release to introduce like cool new decks and to give new players a way to like, you know, jump into the format. So here's hoping. If the Grand Archive devs are watching this out there, that is my hope. I hope you continue to support this format, especially with like product releases. Like I said, not too many product releases. We don't want the fatigue that Magic has, but maybe like once a year, twice a year, something like that would be really, really cool. And then just also, you know, they already have like side events and stuff at Ascents. Yeah, keep doing that. Maybe more of that. I don't know. And that's that. I'm now going to turn it to you folks out there. What do you think of Pantheon in the comment section down below? Have you had a chance to try it out? I'm actually hosting a Pantheon starter deck event in the Rogues Gallery community Discord. It's actually happening soon on April 18th. We do have signups. I'll put a link in the description down below if you'd like to join. And there's a bunch of details in there. We have official prize support from Weebs of the Shore. We have a cool custom Pantheon barrier done by fan favorite artist Lucky Yuki. And yeah, all that good stuff. Like I said, link in the description to signups, and you can see all the details there. But yeah, let me know what you think of Pantheon. I know a lot of folks out there who are maybe watching this might just not be interested in multiplayer formats at all. And I understand that, right? I personally have actually gotten sick of Commander for Magic. In fact, as someone who's been playing Magic since 1995, I haven't actually played Magic seriously in a very, very long time. But I recently got back into Pauper, which is their common-only format in the last 2 years. And I love 1v1 Pauper. It's fantastic, and I love Magic the Cube. But everything else, like Commander, I'm not really into it, which is funny why I'm so interested in Pantheon. I think it's just like the fun deck brewing nature, and just how much I love Grand Archive just makes it more enjoyable for me personally than something like Commander, something that I played a ton. And for Magic, for me, is transitioned, like I said, into Pauper and like Limited. Grand Archive, Pantheon is kind of like the new frontier for me. Anyway, I'm really, really rambling and getting off track, which is par for the course for one of my videos since I don't script these out. I have ideas and I just go. Speaking of which, we're going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think of all this stuff in the comment section down below. It's a video that I've been wanting to make for a little while, ever since I was invited to the Grand Archive Creator Summit. I literally played Pantheon for like, I don't know, dozens of hours, and I've played even more since then. It's been on my mind quite a bit. Yeah, let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see from me regarding Grand Archive and Pantheon. I'd be interested to know, and who knows, maybe I'll make the videos. So thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate you for being here either way, and see you next time.